can see, we've cut out all of the patterns.
Yeah.
So what we did was like we used the old pattern. We put the old pattern on top of the fabric and we cut the new fabric out of the old fabric. Okay? So let's start back to step one. Step one is
Take out the
dust
bottom.
cover. Yep. Step one is flip the chair, remove the dust cover. Step one. Step two is to take the old fabric off. Normally you start from the
But
bottom.
you're supposed to label it.
Wait, you start from the bottom and then you work your way up. So you can either label your pieces while the fabric is on the chair, or as you remove each piece, you can label it then. So whichever one is more comfortable to you.
You have to label it or else you're not going to be able to get the right shape of the fabric.
Well, you label it so you can remember where those pieces go, right? Yeah. Some people do like more. I will forget. And another tip is to take pictures as you go. I am not a photogenic person, not a photogenic,
am.
but what do you call it? You remember
Photographic
photographic
memory.
I think it is
Yeah.
photographic memory.
Yeah.
I do not have a photographic memory, right? So I need to take pictures sometimes, depending on the chair. Like I did a recliner. I think I took like 50 pictures because this recliner has 16 or 17 pieces to it. So I really had to take pictures and videos to remind me how to put that darn thing back together. It was a huge recliner. And as I went, I took pictures. As I took a loose, I took pictures. This goes here, this goes there. So that is an easy way to make sure that you put the pieces on correctly. So we have our pieces. Step two is just take it off. Make sure the frame is sturdy and that the chair is stable and that you can really use it to reupholster, for it to be reupholstered, right? And cut out the patterns. And now that we've cut out the patterns, this is what we have here. Okay, so when you are putting your fabric back on to your chair, you start from, it depends on the chair. This one here, we're starting from the seat first, then we're going to do the back, the inner back, and then we're going to do the back to close it all up. If you have like a chair like a wing back, some people like to do the arms first, then the seat part, then the inner back, then the sides of the chair, and then close it up, right? So it really, really depends on the chair that you have. So for this one, we're going to do the seat first. So it's a nice fabric, to be honest with you. So what you want to do first is stabilize your fabric so it does not shift, right? Because we have to do a little bit of cutting. So if you don't stabilize your fabric in the front part and you cut in the back part, your cutting can be off and then you just ruined a nice panel. And I've done it several times.
So what is a cutting?
So we're cutting, they call it cutting to fit, right? Right, so we stabilize this part, all right? I don't know if we can bring it down a little bit. Can it see?
Yep. Tilt it.
Okay. Two things. So, in these situations, you can have a chair. A lot of people do this work on the floor. Right?
My thighs hurt.
That's okay. And what we call this is cut to fit. You can have a V cut, you can have a T cut, and it just totally depends on the wood, excuse me, that is in the back here. So, right here, in here, you have like a little gap, and this is where your fabric has to tuck within. So in order for your fabric to tuck within here, it has to fit in this groove right here. So you have a post here, and then you have a post here. So what you have to do is bring your fabric up like so. And this is a patient thing. You can't rush this process, because if you rush, you're gonna mess up your fabric. And I've messed up so many fabrics and projects starting this process. Now I've learned my lesson.
Oh.
And so you take your finger here and you just kind of seek and search for the wood. And it's just like you draw like an imaginary line right here, right? This is your wood. And you draw the imaginary line. And then you take your scissors and you cut that imaginary line. Not all the way. So we're going to cut and measure, right? You're going to do the next side. Find your wood, get your imaginary line, line it up to that wood there, and then you're going to cut, not all the way, and then you're going to push it in. So you're either going to have a perfect fit, or you're going to have leftover right here. So if you have leftover, you take it back out, like so. You smooth it out, and then you cut a little bit more. Just a little bit. And then you flip it on in there. And you see if you get a nice little fit. Let's see. Actually, as you can see, you can use a little bit more cutting. So we're just going to cut just a little bit more to make it fit. And what we're going to do is just kind of fold it under like so. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. I hope you guys can see that. As you can see, you need to cut it just a little bit more. Little. Like so. And then you flip it under. So you get you a nice little crease. Like so. Over here, you do the same thing. You can actually cut this a little bit more. Just snip it just a little bit. All right. Well, there you have it. Nice little crease, like so. Cool beans. Now that you got that all cut, let's get the back part. This fabric is pretty nice.
And pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, look at that. Squeeze it down. And we're actually going to do the same thing here. Take our scissors. Well, let's stabilize it so it won't shift. Like so. Uh-oh. There you go. So it won't shift. Let's find that wood right here. And here's your invisible line right there. Cut it, cut it. Find that other invisible line. When you get used to stuff like this, you pretty much know how to cut it. But we want to take it step by step. And in this situation, we are just going to, well, we need to cut it just a little more because you want your fabric to lay nicely. You don't want it to be wrinkled, you don't want it to be prickly, or you don't want it to bunch up. You want it to be nice and smooth. So let's cut this side just a little tad more. Just a little tad. And we can fold it under. And let's try this side. This side is pretty good. And you fold it under like so. Alrighty. So there we have it. So let's bring the chair back up. And now it's just time to finagle. and just do what we can do to make sure that the fabric fits properly. So, again, you will start from the front. You will put a staple right here in the front, and then you will work your way to the side. One side here. Staple it. Staple. And staple. Then we're going to get on this side, nice and smooth. We want a nice and smooth look. Staple and staple. Cool, baby. I'm going to take it to the side. So this is a different type of cheer. It just depends on how you want it to look. Let's see here. You can either have it down this way and this part covers up your cushion, or you can have it, the top part to come down and this part covers up your cushion. And it's all about your preference, just whatever you want. So, I think we should do it like that. Let's see. Whichever one looks good for you. And it just depends on how you feel. What do you think, Mariah?
I like it.
You're paying attention.
That stuff.
My assistant is over there doing her own thing. All right, let's
Well,
just do
because
it
you
this
don't
way.
need me.
Okay. So you want to smooth your fabric out, and you want to pull as tight as you can. And then you want to staple in the middle, and we're going to go this way. Make sure it's nice and smooth. As you pull and as you staple. And staple. And the same to this side. And this is a hard staple gun. You know I got my other staple gun in the car. I should have brought it. Yeah, I thought I did. My compressor. I didn't bring it because it makes a lot of noise.
Oh,
All
yeah.
right. All right. See, nice and smooth. This is another task in itself right here, so we're going to figure that out. So let's go to this side. Same thing. The hammer club, nice and smooth. Nice and tight. The best way to do it is to have it over like so. Like I said, always position yourself in the most comfortable way. And this is a more comfortable way to do it. So now I can hold my staple gun like this and just staple. Like so. Staple it back. Like so. Okay. Staple mom. Alrighty. Staple and staple. Alright. So that's how it's looking so far. You got them? So, when we do this part, again, it is called cut to fit. So, we're cutting in the corner because you want this piece to fit right in this corner here. So, we can cut, you feel, for the little gap. There's a gap right here between this top wood and this leg, right so. And you just cut in a little angle. Don't cut too much. And you can, it will fit right in the little crease. So let's flap. What? Thank you. There we go. And let's staple like so. Now you're gonna have like all of this stuff here left. And the question is, what do you do with all of this? So, you tuck it. So, what you can do, and that will come, what will come in next will be either you use decorative nails to cover up the crease, or you can use piping to cover up the crease. In this year case, they use a skirt to cover it up, right? But we're not going to put the skirt back on it. We're not going to do that. We're going to cut in the little corner. I don't know if y'all can see that. And we're going to staples. I'm running out of staples. All right. Okie dokie. So, a question, you can take it here, all type of options, and staple, and then make a little crease to go like so. A little crease, or you can take it and have two pleats, like so. However you choose to do it. I think I like the two pleats. So that's what we're going to do. Uh-oh, sorry. So we're going to cut here, along here. Make it the accent fabric off. And we're going to flip you underneath, like so. Like so. And we're going to staple you, like so. And we're going to hide that staple by using this stick, like so.
All right, I'm back.
Okay, you can't do that. Let's stay.